Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. We are pleased to be joined by the head football coach at Fowlerville High School. That, of course, is Matt Copeland. Matt, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, GC. Appreciate it, man.
All right. So, what has the summer been like? I know last season was your first year, and it definitely had some tough moments because you were played in a really tough league with the Red, with Mason and Williamston, Hazlitt, and all those other teams. And then you ended well, of course, beating two playoff teams last year with Adrian and Charlotte.
Yeah, I tell you, we really ran through a gauntlet the first 3 weeks with Corunna and then Bullet Creek and Mason. All three of those were regional championship teams. I think they won a district championship, and then two of them on to the finals. And so, we played, I think, 5 playoff teams, won games against 3 of them last year. And so our schedule was tough but fair, and so our kids learned a lot through the year and really showed as the year progressed that they were high character kids who weren't going to let things get them down when it didn't go our way. Tried to stay immune to momentum and just do our job every day. And so we progressed well and kind of finished the season the way we would want to do that.
Yeah. Okay. So going into let's talk about this year. Really, what has the summer been like, and what is this group going to be like in 2024?
The summer's been great. It's awesome for me as a school teacher having the summer off, and I can be at every event we do. We had some great 7-on-7 scrimmages against Brighton this year. We got to go inside to their indoor facility, which is a pretty awesome place. So, we've just had great experiences. We've had, great kids, and, summer is what it is, and we try to give them a break from everything they're trying to do because we got a lot of multi-sport athletes. We had I think 5 of our players who are wrestlers go to Fargo, South Dakota, I believe it is, and do a national wrestling tournament. We got Coach Jonas with the basketball programs working hard, and our baseball program has a great summer program, and football. We all just try to fit together and do the best thing we can for kids. And it's just been it's been a fun summer because it's a little less chaotic than last year. And the first summer was kind of just holding on tight and hoping things went the way we want to. And this year we just built off last summer, and hopefully that continues into the season.
Speaking of wrestling, I can't be. I must ask. I know the town of Fowlerville is very excited to see their own competing in Paris for the Olympics this year, of course, with Adam Kuhn. That's got to be pretty cool for you guys.
Yeah, it's really surreal to realize. I think Adam's he's 30, 31 years old now. So it was 12, 13, 14 years ago that I coached him and knew him from school. And so just to see someone that close to our community on the big stage, it's pretty cool. Everybody's really looking forward to that later this week.
Yeah, and I know, and I believe his dad is. Of course, his dad's been the longtime wrestling coach at Fowlerville, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Dan was, I think he was a history teacher of mine when I was in high school. He was my 9th grade football coach. He's been the wrestling coach. He's been the face of wrestling in Fowlerville, Mid-Michigan, the state of Michigan. Just a class act. His wife was just hired to be the principal at the school I teach at. She's been in our district for a long time. They live right down the road. They're Gladiators, and then the 2 daughters of the family were great kids. It's just a classy, Fowlerville family, and if we're going to send someone to the world stage, the Kuhn family represents well.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's time to get to know this year's Gladiators that will be competing on the football field this year. So time to talk about the returners and the guys to watch this year. Let's start with the skill positions, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. So we have something we've kind of been waiting for the last couple of years is some competition at a lot of positions, especially the quarterback position. Wyatt Solis back after having a pretty good season for us last year, and we have 11th grader Sam Schrader's coming in to kind of push him a little bit, and both guys have had a great summer. And so we're excited to have a little depth. It's been a couple years in the developmental process. I've had some dudes in the past who did a nice job, but not a lot of depth. So we're excited about that. Our running back positions are going to be a lot of by committee, probably, just to try and keep kids healthy and rested, because a lot of our kids are going to play both ways in some situations. We're returning a couple guys, make sure I look at my list over here so I don't miss anything.
Don't forget anybody.
But yeah, Levi Baker is a senior coming back, 3-sport athlete who, did a really nice job at the running back position for us as a junior, who we didn't really expect. Brock Foster's a junior coming back this year, who's tough as nails kid, 3-sport athlete. We got Eric Helmanen, another 3-sport athlete, junior coming up, who's going to be a tough kid. It's just there's a lot of depth at the position that we're excited about that. On the edges, Will Schrader and Justice Wojcik are both back from last year. Two really high speed kids who we get them in a little bit of space will be in good shape. Adam Ashelman, who graduated last year, is moving on, and his brother's going to step up and fill a spot. That would be Landon Ashelman, who's another tremendous athlete. He's been a state qualifier pole vaulter in the past, heck of a basketball player. So him on the outside, good kids. We're just bringing up a couple guys that we'll find out what they have in the coming days. Kids like Cody Sweet, Hunter Job, who were role players last year. We're looking for them to step into that competitive level situation a little bit more. And so we got some speed. We're probably not as big as we would like to be, but I'm guessing every coach is probably always thinking that. But we have Wyatt Solis' younger brother Dylan is coming up. He's a junior, heck of an athlete, 3-sport kid. Really, that's one of the things that we're really excited about. It's the number of 3-sport kids we got. We got some athletes, so we'll see what we can do with that.
Yeah. What's the offensive and defensive line looking like this year?
We got a couple of kids back. Doug Braidwood up front is returning. Saw a lot of time at the offensive line last year. Waylon Lampkin, another kid. Dougie's a wrestler. Waylon's a wrestler. We got a lot of those kids who are gritty, tough kids that we're really looking forward to seeing what they can do. We got to replace a few kids up front, but right now we got a lot of guys who are hungry, want to come in and fight for those spots. And on the defensive line, we got Zach Wallace and Brock Foster, defensive ends, who did a pretty nice job for us last year as a 10th and 11th grader, and really looking forward to their development. We got some quick kids up front that we really like, Levi Baker and Leighton Kaiser, who are really kind of a speed, shoot gap kind of dudes that brought a lot to us in a few spots. Ethan Hall, big plug guy up front in that defensive tackle spot that we're looking forward to what he could do. Missed last season with an injury. So we have question marks, but no panic, because we also have some depth. Nate Miller's another kid who's had a great summer, 3-sport kid. I'm not sure he's 3-sport, definitely 2-sport kid that has really developed into a kid we could put down in the defensive end position. He could play linebacker. He could walk out and play safety a little bit. Really worked on getting faster in the offseason. And then the back end on the defense, Drake Denning is we're really hoping he steps up and wins one of our corner positions across from Wojcik, who went in last year and played really well. Just down the line, are coming up. Jacob Hardy's is another dude really excited about. Um, there's another Jupri, Zach Jupri, and B Blake's younger brother coming up. Good kids. Sam Schrader, Cody Cruz. We just have a lot of guys that are really, really liked, and they're gritty and they're tough. I don't know if they can play yet, and we'll find that out.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I don't know if you mentioned, did you mention the linebacker? I know you touched a little bit on the secondary,
Oh,
linebackers and
yeah. Our linebacker crew is going to be, we're excited about them. Brandon Packer is a junior, was a varsity player last year for us. We're really hoping he steps up and fills the role that Blake Jupri did in that middle of our defense. Zach Jupri, yeah, Helmanen, Nate Miller, a lot of guys that are just filling those spots that, it's just about putting that puzzle together. Coach Schrader, defensive coordinator, is really good at developing talent and getting kids in the right spot. That was a key to our defense and our improvements last year. Finding where people fit better, and we got better throughout the year as we got spots filled in and people put in positions. And so we're really excited about where we're at the linebackers.
yeah. Special teams, what's that looking like?
Special teams, we're going to replace a punter. We're going to replace a kicker. Those kind of things. We have some kids that can do it. The reality with our special teams is our depth. We're hoping to have, I think, 40 kids this year, which is the most we've had in a while. And they're out of those 40. Boy, right now there have been a lot of kids who have shown that it's important to them to be a gladiator, and that's what you need in the special teams. It's 25-30% of the game, and when kids buy in, then it's a great thing. We have the great thing about a lot of our kids are wrestlers or tough nosed kids that can do lots of things. And a kid like Lane O'Neill, who played a little bit on the varsity with us as a sophomore last year, will be a fixture in the line hopefully this year. But he's also, really close to, breaking a 5-second 40 time. Kids who can run, you can put them out there covering punts, covering kicks. They're tough nosed kids who just find the ball, which is really exciting. So we're happy about our depth, and we'll see how that develops over the next few weeks.
Yeah. Okay, so coming up to we talked about the kids. Let's talk about the schedule that you will have. Of course, you got the next few weeks. The scrimmage will be at Goodrich in due time and during on the traditional scrimmage day. And then, of course, regular season starts off at Corunna, September 6th, home against Marshall. September 13th at St. John's, September 20th, home against Williamston, September 27th at Hazlitt, October 4th, home against Lansing Eastern, October 11th at Mason, October 18th, home against Adrian, and finishing out the regular season, October 25th at Charlotte. So, pretty good schedule. Obviously, we all know how tough this division is with the CAAC Red, and plus a couple new non-conference game and a new non-conference opponent in Marshall.
Yeah, we are blessed to have a really great conference that we compete in, and so those week 2 through 7 games are going to be they're going to be battles every week, and hopefully we bring our A game to those battles. It's really tough to even find a down week. Lansing Eastern hasn't had a lot of success on the scoreboard the last few years, but Coach Morgan does a great job with those kids over there. And every year they're getting a little better and better. You love to see that. So Mason, Hazlitt, Williamston, St. John's, they're always going to reload year after year. And we've been playing, my first ever competition as a coach here in Fowlerville was a scrimmage against St. John's back in 2001 or 2002. Coach Marigy, who did a heck of a job over there for years. We just developed a lot of relationships with those coaches, and for for 48 minutes, you want to battle and you're not very good friends, but before a game and after game, you're always back to having a high level of respect. Marshall's had a lot of success during the time that I've been a football coach in the state of Michigan. So that'll be a great matchup for us. Corunna is definitely not going to be at the level they were last year, but that would be impossible to be. They were an elite football team, but they got a lot of kids coming back that we're going to keep an eye on and playing over there at Nick and East Stadium is always a lot of fun. That was where my football career ended in a Week 9 1-point loss to Corunna in 1993. I just have a lot of ties to the area and people. And so it's, I love our schedule. It's a alternate away game, home game. So we don't have too much comfort in multiple weeks at home or too much stress with multiple trips on the road. But as I look at it, it's a solid schedule that we're going to have to compete. And we're going to have to bring it every week. And that'll help us as we continue to go through and hopefully get ourselves into a Week 10 situation.
Yeah. Okay, so take us through, it's July 30th at the time of recording. What are the next few weeks going to look like, for this program? Because there's going to be not a lot going on until the 12th.
Yeah, for us this week, we're just finishing our summer schedule. We do speed and strength work 3 days a week. Next week is the preseason downtime, so we kind of take all the football out of it and just work on our conditioning and recovery development of the body, and take a good 4-day weekend before August 12th rolls around. And that the anticipation of it just keeps building and building and building, and then you get to August 12th and everybody's waiting for the 15th to come around and we can put all the pads on. And so they're incremental steps of raising the intensity level until we get to the scrimmage day.
I believe the first 2 days are just the helmets. I believe the Wednesday and Thursday are the shells, and then Friday is the full pads, from what I understand.
Yep, that is correct. We really work on acclimating the body for these kids over the summer, and then those first 4 days to when it turns into real football.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Matt, thank you so much for the time as always, and best of luck to the Gladiators coming up this year.
Appreciate it, Casey. We'll talk to you later.